But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. Well, come on, man. That kid was a cakewalk.
You know, nothing wrong. Canelo always has had a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you can box and take a punch, you're going to give him a hard time. Bud is not one of these guys that's going to quit.
Bud Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
Floyd Mayweather made fun of Canelo Alvarez after he lost to Terence Crawford. He also said that Canelo is not the same boxer he used to be and that people have always lied about how famous he is. Mayweather told Crawford that he trusted him from the start and showed that by betting a lot of money on him. The risk paid off big time, and he walked away with a lot of money. Looks like Floyd Mayweather walked away with a bag after he bet $50,000 on Terence Crawford to beat Canelo. An ex-account said, along with the bet proof, Canelo Alvarez stayed calm and confident even though he lost to Terence Crawford. He said Crawford was a great boxer who deserved to win and praised his skills. Canelo, on the other hand, has made it clear that he is not done yet. Even though he felt bad about losing, he said he's emotionally and physically ready for what comes next. Canelo's desire to fight Crawford again in the future showed that he still had the will to fight. This phrase shows how competitive he is because he won't give up on a job, even if it means putting his pride and hand speed are still problems today. According to Atlas, Terence Crawford showed these flaws again, even though he hadn't played in a year. In the same way that Mayweather's perfection did before, Crawford's timing and movement took away Canelo's power. Atlas said that this result showed how bad Canelo is against the best skilled boxers. Crawford's win adds to his already growing fame.
From the beginning, that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight. It was great.
Let's put some context on this.
It was great.
Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring, okay?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery, on shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball.
Yep.
He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew it was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was going to come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was going to come. What did he do? Block, and he shot up with counters.
One of his great assets that we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as immeasurable on paper, but it's eyes. Vision,
focus.
We know the physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, just radar. This guy's got infrared.
Ariel Helwani, a sports writer, quickly shared the official decision on social media, confirming once Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez, IUD 116 to 112, 115 to 113. 115 to 113. Even though the scores were close, the result showed that Crawford had more control of the fight. Helwani's update spread quickly. Official scores made people think that this wasn't just a win, but rather a well-planned and organized effort that confirmed Crawford's place among the best athletes in the world. Teofimo Lopez, who is known for being brave in the ring, praised Crawford's accomplishment. He made it clear that the fight was between 2 of the best boxers in the world. He also thinks that the right man won. Lopez said that Crawford's win was very important by saying that he is now one of the 10 best boxers of all time. Not only was Crawford the winner that night, but his style, pose, and performance made him stand out as a big name in boxing history. The fact that an active champion gave Crawford such high praise shows how important his win is to the boxing world.
In terms of his prime, how can you gauge it?
Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was pretty, it was really good, actually.
Yeah.
So it's up to the jam. He's a jam. He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness.
Mentally.
What's up?
You called it for Crawford earlier, and you see the reason for it like that.
I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with, I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
at least top 10.
At least
Yeah,
top 10?
top 10 or top 15,
Yeah.
easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know?
Ahead of his fight with Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez was asked about his past fights with Terence Crawford and Mayweather. People quickly paid attention to what he said, especially when he compared the two champs. Canelo freely stated that Crawford impressed him more, especially in the last few rounds of the championship, which are the most important for control and land speed. What he said made his point clear. I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. This bold comment not only praised Crawford's performance, but it also made boxing fans argue about how the two legends compare in terms of history.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
After the loss, there was more talk about Canelo Alvarez's prospects. His words and actions made it sound like he was thinking about retiring, especially since Crawford's win has taken the attention off of him. Canelo was said to have been schooled by Crawford during the fight, who used trick, and Crawford is being called one of the best fighters of this age. Canelo isn't sure if his time as champion is over after this kind of loss. Crawford, on the other hand, sees it as proof that he is the face of modern fighting.
Was going to create history. I told you guys this before he fought Sean Porter. I said that Terence "Bud" Crawford can beat first ballot Hall of Famer and superstar and legend Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for years, that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And tonight, he did just that. He did just that. Not only did he beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, but he arguably retired Canelo Alvarez, who after the fight, Canelo Alvarez stated that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport of boxing. When asked, do he want a rematch with Terence "Bud" Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said, it's no need. He gave no indications of a rematch. And Canelo Alvarez stated that he's a Hall of Famer, he's a winner, just being there made him a winner, right? And he stated that he's done everything he needed to do in the sport of boxing. That's what he said. Canelo Alvarez got schooled once again. I told you guys, styles make fights. This particular style of boxers and counterpunchers and movers has historically given Canelo Alvarez problems. And as I told you guys, right? Terence Crawford can fight any which way he chooses to fight. He's just that much more versatile. And everybody didn't believe me. They said I was tripping. Canelo was too big. He gonna knock out Terence Crawford, right? He too big, too strong. Terence Crawford get hit. Terence Crawford don't box, don't move. And I told you guys, when Terence Crawford wants to move and wants to box, right, he can. And he would, right? And guess what? Terence Crawford, I told you guys, when he fought the likes of Victor Postol, right? Y'all said that, oh, he don't move that much. I said, did you look at his fight with Victor Postol? Did you look at his fight with Jose Benavidez? Yeah, well, those guys ain't Canelo Alvarez. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terence Crawford's ability to be able to maneuver around and box in every which manner he so chooses. If he wants to incorporate that style that he boxes and moves, he could. And what did he do tonight? I said Terence Crawford could fight at every level. Didn't I tell you guys that? I said Terence Crawford can fight in mid-range. He can fight on the outside. He can fight on the inside. Canelo Alvarez cannot. Y'all asked me, why aren't you talking about what Canelo Alvarez could do great? And I told you, because we know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. He's going to fight. He's consistent in who he is and how he fights. Period. I told you guys that.
A fight that supporters would remember for decades. Ward said that these kinds of fights shape careers and set great fighters apart from legends. Ward was thrilled that Crawford was able to beat Canelo while staying calm and collected through effort in the conversation of the all-time great fighters, highlighting how serious what had just happened in the ring was.
Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
From Terence Crawford, great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great, great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing?
Rising star Keyshawn Davis, who looks up to Crawford as a role model and mentor, responded with joy and pride. That's a term that young boxers don't use very often unless the performance calls for it. He called Crawford one of the GOATs. Davis praised Crawford for sticking to his game plan and never letting Canelo get the next crop of fighters who want to be like Crawford.
What's up, bro? Yes, sir.
What do you think made the difference?
The speed, really.
Yeah.
I think it was the main factor. Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically went every round, so.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
Lennox Lewis, who used to be the heavyweight king, gave an incredibly honest review of the fight. He said that Crawford was the better fighter the whole time, and asked how any judge could have given Canelo a 5-round win. Lewis, said that Canelo has always had trouble with fighters who can move quickly, and once again, Crawford's speed was the difference. Lewis admitted that he was hoping for more heated arguments, but he also liked seeing how skilled the fighters were with their weapons. His criticism showed both Canelo's flaws and Crawford's versatility, which made the Mexican champion's attack less effective.
Let me tell you, great fight. I was hoping that there was more action coming from Canelo. You know, I'm used to Canelo fighting that way all the time. He tried his best. He always has trouble against movers. I was really expecting them to be more punches, more movement by Canelo. What can you say?
This reminds me of the point that Jaya Patai made yesterday, and you picked up on it. He said he's coming in with all his belts. Terence looks like he's still hungry, and Canelo looks like he's whining and dining in his success. Do you think that might be the difference tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it was a little bit of difference. The cat has got really fat, so he tried his best. I've seen Canelo box about many times, and I thought that this time he just boxed like he always boxes. And then I felt he couldn't really do nothing against Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford was too quick, too elusive. Anybody would find trouble with him, but Canelo couldn't find him.
The scorecards were 2 red, 115, 113. Were they right with the cards?
It was for Canelo to win a round. I say he won about 3 rounds in that fight. I was actually amazed at the way how Terence Crawford moved and never got hit, and threw combinations, because that's what you're supposed to do, throw combinations. So he threw combinations. He wasn't trying to knock out Canelo, but he definitely was throwing a lot of punches, a lot of combinations.
What Roy Jones Jr. saw shocked him. He's one of the best boxers in history. The winner, Crawford, put on an amazing show that required skill, patience, and planning fleets who depend on speed and mobility. Once more, Crawford showed that weakness. Jones saw this as more than just a win. It was perfect. He made it clear who was the better boxer that night.
Beautiful performance, exactly what I expected. All I want to see was Creed take the punch. If you take a punch, we knew what was going to happen to that.
Did you expect him to trade with Canelo like that on the inside?
Yes, we spoke on the airplane going to Dubai.
Yeah.
The only thing I told him was that you could not give Canelo the center of the ring. And earlier you gave it to him, but then he started outboxing and outsmarting with it, and he started taking it back at the right time. So he studied his film very well. He knew when to fight, when to move left and when to move right. It was a very smart fight. He completely frustrated Canelo.
Did you score it, Roy?
Huh?
Did you score it?
No, I didn't score it, but I think probably was something like 8-4.
8-4?
Yep.
What do you think should happen next, Roy?
I have no clue.
Crawford put himself amongst the all-time greats like yourself with that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
5-weight world champion,
Yes.
3-weight undisputed champion.
Yes.
Where are you putting him in the all-time list?
Hard to beat.
That's all for the video today. Watch out for the next.